Hello, everyone. Good evening and a very happy Wednesday to all of you. This is Renu from Genius Kids. Happy to be here because this is the time where I spotlight all the amazing youth that we have all over the world. And this is a show for kids anywhere from the ages of 5 to 25. So if you know someone that's talented, and when I talk about talent, I'm not just talking about the academics. Academics is great. We're all good at our math and science and spelling and whatnot. I'm talking about other activities, things such as music, drama, theater, playing instruments, chess, whatever it may be. Or maybe they're giving back to the community. Whatever it is, we want to spotlight these youth. So if you know someone or you have one of those little munchkins in your own house, then you need to contact me at renud@gmail.com. And this is the show for them, Born to Shine. And so here's another Wednesday night. And today I'm very excited to introduce a beautiful young lady who's been nominated by her mommy, and her mommy will be coming on in a few minutes. We have with us a 13-year-old young lady called Noopur, who is always willing to help others. She is in 8th grade, and I'm going to learn more about her in a few minutes. And she's very much into drama and theater, which is one of my favorite subjects. So let's begin the show. And of course, thank you to Radio Zindagi for always giving us this platform to be able to spotlight these amazing kids. Welcome to the show, Noopur.
Hi.
Can you come closer? I couldn't hear you.
Oh, hi. Sorry.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How about you?
Good. So are you 13 years old? Is that what it is?
Well, no, I actually turned 14 a few weeks ago.
Oh, you did? Well, a happy belated birthday to you.
Thank you.
So tell us a little bit about yourself. What grade are you? Where do you go to school?
Well, like you said, I am in 8th grade. I go to school at Lawson Middle School.
Okay. And how long have you been, you're in 8th grade. So have you have you been doing virtual learning, or have you been doing hybrid? What's going on at school right now?
We have been doing virtual learning. However, we might be going hybrid in April.
Are you excited?
Yes, very.
Do you want to go back to school?
Well, yes, I do. I do.
How has this last year been? I'm curious to know, talking to so many kids. Some kids are enjoying the virtual learning, but most of the kids I speak to want to go back to school. They miss their friends. What are your thoughts?
Well, at first it was fun, except now it's just boring and mundane, and we miss the chaos that comes with actual school.
I agree. And of course, it's fun to be virtual, but I think there's nothing better than having human connection, right? So your mom mentioned to me that you love being on stage and theater. So when did your mom discover that you enjoyed drama?
Well, it wasn't really my mom, more like my 4th grade teacher.
Okay.
I was actually a very shy girl in 4th grade, except then one day we had oral presentations, and I got on to the front of the classroom and began to start when the principal, the superintendent, and another important person who I can't really recall who, all walked in right when I was doing my presentation. And I just kept on going without missing a beat, and I had the most fun ever. And that's when I knew I loved.
What were you presenting? Were you doing a drama? Or were you presenting like a science class or something? What were you doing? Do you remember?
Well, I was not doing a drama. I was not presenting a science class. Basically, what happened was that I was doing a presentation about, we're learning how to do presentations, not really about a specific topic. And I was doing it about my teacher's garden club.
Okay, interesting. And what happened? You wowed everyone in the room.
Yes.
So then what happened after that?
Well, the superintendent and the principal, they left, and my teacher was just so shell-shocked that the little kid who reads books and has 0 friends could talk that well.
So then what happened after that? Did you decide to pursue drama, theater? Did you get into plays? What happened?
Yes, after that, a few months later, I was auditioning for the school play, and I would have been happy with any role, really, but I got super lucky, and I worked really hard, and I spent ages memorizing the monologue so I could do it the best I could the next day. Mm-hmm. And I went up there, I got a Southern accent, I had my hand motions, and I just went in front of all the teachers, and I loved their facial expressions at that time because I was still known as the little kid who sneaks into the library during lunches.
So you probably wowed the audience with a monologue. I love monologues. I actually teach monologues to my students all the time, and I just absolutely love monologues because you have to imagine what the other character is saying to you, right? So this has led you to think about or launch a club called the Kids Complete Productions, right? So tell me a little bit about this little business model, or what is it? What is Kids Complete Productions?
Well, it's productions made completely by kids, directed by kids, and acted by kids. I have a bunch of kids who do plays with me, and currently we have done Hound of the Baskervilles, A Christmas Carol, and we are working on Prince and the Pauper.
Okay, so do you get the scripts, and how do you, let's begin with the actors. How do you get all these kids? Are they kids you know? Can anyone join this program?
Anyone can join this program, and I really hope more people join this program because it is so, so fun the more people there are. I stayed at the library and I was handing out flyers, which I designed, hoping that people would come, and people did.
Great. So are you doing this virtually right now with the kids? Are you practicing virtually?
Yes, we are practicing virtually, and maybe even after Corona ends, we might continue practicing virtually because we are a low budget production, and it's just cheaper and easier not to have to rent out spaces.
So how have you been presenting your plays? To which audience have you been presenting your plays to?
Well, I've been telling all my actors to go tell their friends and tell their parents and anyone that they could. Anyone can watch.
So what was your vision behind this? I mean, why did you start this up? You're in school, you have so much homework and so many other things to do. Why did you start this up?
Well, in all through elementary school, I was able to get plays easily. I was able to get productions that I can join,
Mhm.
except in sixth grade, I wasn't able to find anything. In seventh grade, I wasn't able to find anything. So I decided to create one instead of waiting around for something to come to me.
So you felt it'll be important to just launch your own theater production?
Yes.
Okay, good. What is your long-term vision? I mean, where do you see this going? Is this just something you're doing now? And did you start this during Corona? Or did you start this before?
I started this 2 months before Corona.
Okay, 2 months before COVID. Okay. And then, so where do you see yourself going with this? Is this just something you're doing as a gig while you're at school, or do you want this to turn into something where you can get other people involved?
Well, I would love to get other people involved, and I want it to be like a nonprofit, a side job that I can do because it is really, really fun and I love doing it.
That's good. Do you have a monologue you could present to us, or whatever you're currently practicing?
Well, I do. It's memorized.
Why? It is? Okay. Well, let's bring your mom on. Archana, are you there? Maybe we can have you come on. Let's see if your
Yes,
mom is.
hi, I'm here.
Oh, hi, Archana. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Good. Well, welcome, and thank you so much for nominating your beautiful young lady over here. I'm really enjoying speaking to her, and I can see all her animations already in her. I do drama and public speaking, so I can recognize an actor from far. And so, when did you notice that your shy little daughter here? She's claiming she's shy. I don't think she's shy at all. But when did you notice that she had this little, you know, artist skill in her of being a drama queen?
A drama queen, yes. I probably put her in one of the, at the temple, there was an annual function.
Mhm.
So I enrolled her to do a monologue on the temple themes, on temple songs when she was 3. And she sang that all by herself on the stage in front of 10,000 people. And I did not realize at that time that, okay, she is born with that skill. I just took it for granted. But then in second grade, she was a narrator, and a lot of parents came to me and said, oh, she's great. And I didn't realize at that time too. We're like, okay, you know what? She's good. She loves to read, and she's able to, say words and everything. That's great. But when the fourth grade that she mentioned, Noopur mentioned just now, that her teacher mentioned about that, he came out, but he said a lot more about Noopur. He said, okay, she was so amazing. And she talked about garden club, which is what the teacher was teaching outside of his classwork. So Noopur chose that as topic, not to impress the teacher, but that she was just excited about and willing to share. And he was so happy that she delivered it so well. And not only that, she talked about his club. So he was very excited about that. And then when she got the lead role in the play, I'm like, okay, you need to get more help. You need to get enrolled into more clubs and more drama acting and stuff like that. So we started to enroll her in a lot more. And she's been very passionate. We've seen her work really hard throughout.
So would you have described her as somebody who was shy? Because she started by saying that everybody thought in school she was shy. Was she?
She is very shy. She's in school. She's keeps her mostly to herself, or she's reading, or at least when she was in elementary, throughout elementary, she would skip recess, lunch. She would hide under the tables and read books. So everyone thought that she would not be speaking as much. She would be the quiet one. But then every single time she was up on stage, she would just shock everyone.
That's wonderful. So Noopur, my question to you is, you described yourself as somebody shy. Do you think you're still shy now, or do you think you've overcome that?
I think I've overcome that. I'm not shy anymore.
Why do you think drama is so important? Because, I know so many parents who probably would never pick drama and theater even as a subject. They're going to focus on chess, and they're going to go, most of the kids that I know are going for extra math classes and more math and this competition and chess. And drama and theater is probably 1 out of 10 is who I hear. Archana, don't go away. We still want to see your lovely face here. So, Noopur, let me ask you, why do you think this is an important skill to be able to speak on stage?
Yes, definitely. If you have a job where you're talking to a crowd, you need to know good presentation skills. If you have a job where, even a smaller job like a librarian, you need to know how to read to keep the kids entertained. If you have a job what if it's not even a job in school? You need to know how to find creative ways to express your ideas. Lots of schools have to have creative ways to express your ideas. And in my science class, especially, one of the things I did was I created a radio show commercial. And everyone in the class loved that. I had so much fun doing that. And everyone simply adored it. And I also created a silent movie for another science project to be
movie? Okay.
To be able to relate things like silent movies or radio commercials to topics like science, you need to have a good understanding of what you're doing in the radio commercial or silent movie. And that requires drama experience. You need to know what you're doing.
So I always feel, and I always tell students, even when you're doing monologues, that I think when you're doing drama, you become the character. And also by becoming different characters, you learn to, you develop so many soft skills like compassion, understanding, because you actually start acting out as that character. And I've always described life as being one big drama. If you think about it, every day we are acting in some way or the other, right? In front of our friends. So, let's have your monologue. Let's hear you with one of your monologues before we go into a little bit more about drama, the importance of drama. So what are you going to present to us today?
Well, this is Helena's monologue from A Midsummer Night's Dream.
Okay, speak a little louder and come closer so we can hear you.
How happy some or other some can be. Through Athens I am thought as fair as she, but what of that? Demetrius thinks not so. He will not know what all but he do know, and he errs, doting on Hermia's eyes, and so I, admiring of his qualities. Things base and vile, folding no quantity. Love can transpose to form and dignity. Love looks not with the eyes, but with the mind, and therefore is winged Cupid painted blind. Nor hath love mind of any judgment taste, wings and no eyes, figure and heedy haste. And therefore is love said to be a child, because in choice he is so oft beguiled. As waggish boys in game themselves forswear, and so the boy love is perjured everywhere. For ere Demetrius looked on Hermia's eyne, he hailed down oaths that he was only mine. And when this hail some heat from Hermia felt, so he dissolved, and showers of oaths did melt. I will go tell him of fair Hermia's flight. Then to the wood will he tomorrow night pursue her. And for this intelligence, if I have thanks, oh, it's a dear expense, but here remain I to enrich my pain, to have his sight thither, and back again.
Wow. Amazing. Amazing. How did you memorize all of that? I was sitting here thinking, oh my gosh, how did she memorize all of that?
I memorized it for an audition a couple weeks ago.
Wonderful, wonderful. So in your what was your current production that you're doing right now that you're preparing for?
We are currently working on Prince and the Pauper.
The Prince and the Pauper. So how are you going to present that if everybody's in their own homes? How are you planning to direct or present it? If I asked you that I wanted to invite you back on the radio show to present your play on the radio, how would you do that?
Well, a lot like what we are doing right here with these virtual Zoom backgrounds, with people staying at their screens. Maybe we're going to do some blocking. I'm going to have people stand up, wave a hand around. Mm-hmm. And really a lot like what we're doing right here.
So basically it would all be like monologues. People would be on in different scenes with their own backgrounds, right?
Yes.
Okay. That's amazing. That's absolutely wonderful. So Archana, I can see you beaming very proudly over there, and you have every reason to do so. You know, as I said, I love drama. My mom put me to drama when I was 3 years old, so I can relate a lot to what Noopur is doing, and I think it's an excellent skill. So what would your message be, Archana, to all the parents out there who have probably got drama and theater all the way at the bottom of the list because they think other subjects are going to be more important to get into college or, you know, later on? What is your message out there as a mom of a naturally born star?
Well, I do think that I have seen Noopur used in a lot more ways in school, like she mentioned in the science project, or be it talking in front of the other classmates for other skills and everything. Its drama has been helpful in a lot of ways for her, and not just in drama and theater per se, be it math or be it in social or English, everywhere, language arts, everywhere. So I do think it's very, very critical. It also makes her to express her ideas more clearly in terms of talking to friends or even the teachers asking the questions. She isn't afraid to ask any questions, although she's shy per se. But when she wants to ask, she isn't afraid to even talk to the principal if she wants to. So
that's wonderful. Yes.
Yeah,
so you're
so,
becoming very fearless, very, very fearless.
Yes.
So what are your plans for this year? What projects do you have in mind, Noopur? And if you're looking for any actors to join, this is your time to reach out through our audience and ask them. So what are you looking for? What kind of help can our listeners give you?
Well, any help would be greatly appreciated. Actors mostly, but we could use stage managers. I could use fellow directors to help me, because I have found that directing can be very, 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 very difficult.
Very, 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 very difficult. Well, then we need to ease in the pain. And what age group are you looking for? Does it matter?
No, it doesn't matter, except you have to be okay for working with people younger than you.
So what age group, I mean, this play that you're preparing, how many kids do you have in this play?
I currently have 6 or 7.
6 or 7, great. And do you think this takes away, I mean, there's a lot of time spent doing practice and direction. Does it affect your homework or your work at all?
No, I can manage my time. I have a little calendar. What it mostly affects is other rehearsals or plays, because I have to make sure to account for that whenever I'm discussing rehearsal timings with stage managers or artistic directors.
And do you think you're going to go and pursue acting when you get a little older?
Yes. Well,
Is that a career path, or is that going to be a hobby?
preferably a career path, most likely a hobby.
Absolutely. I would love to see you as a career path, not just a hobby. You know, I think it would be absolutely fabulous. So in closing, what would your message be to everyone out there and all the young kids watching and listening to you? Because what you just, presented was a very tough monologue, and probably kids are going, oh my gosh, I could never say that. I could never do that. So what's your message to all of them?
The hardest bit is deciding to do it.
Yes, it is.
The hardest.
And do you help your actors learn their lines? Do you help them learn their lines?
Yes, I offer many, many tips and tricks to help them learn their lines, and learning lines is fairly optional. I would love for them to do it, but I understand they'll have
Give me one tip. I'm getting old. I'm 60 years old. I forget my lines. Give me a tip.
Well, one tip is to voice record everyone else's lines, then play that so that you can record your lines without a stage partner.
Wonderful. That's a great way to practice. I would have never thought about that. Yes, absolutely. So, Mom, what would you like to say in closing to all the mums and dads that are watching the show right now and who are going to be watching it later?
Oh, thank you so much for having us over, and just listen to your kids, their passion, and there are shining stars everywhere. So just look for them and just boost them, and that will be very, very helpful. Yeah. For the kids.
Absolutely, absolutely. And kudos to you and the family that are supporting her, because I always say behind every star there is always a parent that behind every child there's always a parent that's believed in them first, and that's why children believe in themselves as well. So thank you so much for coming on our show. Thank you so much for nominating her and for giving me especially the opportunity to be able to get to know Noopur. And Noopur, my message to you is that if you do have a play that you would like to present online, we would love to bring you back with your team if you want to practice it. And one of my shows I could dedicate, where if it would be a 25-minute play, if you could do it in 20 minutes, we'd love to have you guys on Born to Shine and bring all your actors on so that we can watch all of you.
That would be lovely.
And Noopur, what would you like to say before we wrap up? We have 2 minutes.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for having me. I love your voice inflections. Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for being on Born to Shine. And we look forward to seeing you back with your whole troupe here, and you can present a fun play. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ms. Renu.
No, thank you so much. And for those who tuned in, this was Noopur Jain from Born to Shine. And as you know, she runs a production company called Kids Complete Production. She's a minor, so I can't give her information out to you, but you can definitely reach out to me, and I will be happy to put you in touch with the mom if you have a child that would like to take part in her production. The company is called Kids Complete Productions. Until next week, keep smiling and have a great week. Thank you, Noopur.